And welcome back to the show. Rising Ground is a not-for-profit organization that is providing children, adults, and families in need with the resources and skills they need to actually rise above adversity and positively direct their lives. The organization supports more than 25,000 children as well as adults and families in need each year and is continuing to evolve in its services to meet the changing needs of New Yorkers. Here now to tell us more is the co-parenting facilitator of family foster care at Rising Ground. We've got Michele Favale, and thank you so much, Michele, for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
When we talk about foster care, obviously a much needed area. Talk to us a little about the work that Rising Ground does and the services that you provide.
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, we piloted a program, our co-parenting initiative program. And this program was really geared towards changing the culture of foster care, really giving a voice back to the parents and wanting them to be much more involved in the services that are offered throughout our agency. And the goal of this program was really to partner the parents and the foster parents together so that they could be a joint team in really helping us achieve permanency and quickly get the children back to the parents' care.
And when we talk about your services and the services that you provide, talk to us about families and the need of families. Do you find like post-COVID-19, the need for families and services has risen?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we are all going through this together and it's changed a lot, COVID-19. And so we absolutely are always in search of looking for new foster homes for people who really want to partner with us in being change makers and helpers in time of adversity. So, we know that foster care is not intended to be temporary. I mean, permanent. It is temporary. And we really we need foster parents to come on board with us and say, we want to help families and children through a time that's really difficult for them. And be a part of our agency in that role.
And when we look at the role of your agency, obviously you've got a lot of services that you do or that you're able to provide. I know one of those things is really catering towards parents and parents being able to help parents. So walk us through a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, so our newest initiative in parent supports is our Parent Supporting Parents initiative. It's brand new. And so what that is it is taking parents who have previous experience with foster care. They themselves have been through the system as a parent. And now they're on the opposite side of the table, per se, and they're able to become parent advocates. And there's lots of training and a lot of support that's given to them to then be able to turn around and take their experience and help further parents that are currently going through this. And it's a wonderful new initiative because we're really able to connect with our parents in such a deeper way because they have that shared experience. They can say, hey, I've been through this before and there's hope. It's very different for a parent to hear that message from someone who has walked those same paths and within those same shoes than it is for a case planner or a director or, anybody else in the agency to say it. So we're really, really excited about this initiative because we think that it's going to really help our parents achieve their goals and realize their potential faster because they have that support built in now from the very beginning of intake all the way through discharge.
Yeah, and the need for foster parents during a time like this. Talk to us about that because a lot of people say, well, with COVID-19, there isn't that great a need, and we've heard from you the need is great. Talk to us about the need for for foster parents and how people could actually become.
Yeah, absolutely. Foster care is still here. There's still a need. There's still children that are in the system. And the need is really great. We want foster parents to come on board, as I had said previously, that are really looking to be a safe place for children temporarily, who are willing to join us in this way of looking differently at foster care. And it's a wonderful commitment. It's a great way to help the community, your community that you live in, whether all 5 boroughs we're in. So really a wonderful way to get in to help support children in New York City that are in need of homes. It's winter time right now, right? So we just really want to provide children a safe place. And the way to become a foster parent is great. I mean, you could go to our website, risingground.org, and it walks you through the steps, and you're then connected with a home finder who will walk you through. You get all the training through us. There's lots and lots of support services that are involved in that. So you're not just signing up and kind of on your own, but you're really signing up and a part of this agency. And and then that's it. So
Yeah.
it's,
Well, get connected is what it is. Really, we want people to get connected. A lot has changed throughout the course of the day. We talked about foster parents, but I want to talk about social work as it is today too, right? Because how social work is today as compared to yesterday, the way that we know it, has dramatically changed. Give us an insight into social work today.
yeah, so there's a lot that has been learned, especially through foster care. And I think that's what we're seeing is that there's such a need for various different services. And so what was looked at once now when we look at our social services and the need for social workers and the work that they do, they're taking on such a larger role than before, and really encompassing so many different elements. So much of our work is really rooted in trauma focused, realizing that a lot of our kids are coming through the system with trauma. And so we're working with whole families. We're not just working with one individual, but we're working with children and their parents. We're working with multi-generational households at times, parents and foster parents. So it's really diversifying the entire need for to look at it in so many different ways, that there's not one solution to fix any situation that's happening, but we want to be equipped in many different ways to help the family in whatever they need at that time.
Yeah. And what do you find to be the greatest need of families right about now?
Right now, I think a lot of stability. Just really, if we look at just the past year with COVID, there's so much uncertainty. There's so much that we don't know what's happening, what's going on. We can look throughout, I mean, not just COVID, right? There's so many things this year that has happened that has altered our lives in so many ways. And I think the most important thing we need to is to look at community, to look to each other for that support. And figuring out, what do we need now? What do we need? What can we provide? Children need caring adults. So is that foster parents right now? Is that parents right now? How do they then communicate with one another to really support 100% the permanency and the need? So we might not be able to solve everything all at once, but if we could start with the very basics of what does stability look like for this family, for this child, and then grow from there.
So how can people get involved and how can people play a part in this?
Yeah, so again, if you're really interested in foster care, again, one wonderful way is to become a foster parent. And that itself is a huge undertaking and a great, we're so gracious for our foster parents. The other way is to look at, what are your skills? What can you bring? Are there jobs out there that are available that speak to you in this way? Getting involved in any organization that is doing this kind of work, this groundbreaking work that's really rooted in supporting families.
That's what we want to tell people. If they want to get more involved, of course, your website is risingground.org, and people can get connected there. But before we leave, I'll give you the final word. Anything else that you'd like to share?
What else? I mean, we've covered so much, but I think just for our parents, our foster parents, and the people, is to have hope that this is amazing work, and we've learned so much in all the years of doing this, and we're just continuing to look to the future to grow and continue to better our services, better our support, and really just be there for one another, and that's really the root of that. work.
Michele Favale, thank you so much for being with us here. risingground.org is the website. And of course, we want you to go ahead and visit their website if you're interested in finding out more information or becoming a foster parent. Michele, thank you again for joining us.
Very much.